Howdy, happy trumpet players. Thanks for spending some time with me today. We're looking at number 16 in Nathan Ost's miniature Etudes. We're getting through this book. I find these to be very, very helpful. And number 16 is only 4 lines of music, and it says singing. That's the description. I'm going to try and do that for you. So why don't I just start by playing through, and then we'll see what we can find in this tune. So the tempo is 54 to the dotted quarter note, so it has kind of a swing feel. Okay, here we go. Okay, sorry for that interruption to your musical reverie. I was thinking about what I was going to say to you and was not attentive to playing it on purpose. But this is good because the whole way this is written is very interesting. You're playing a good deal at the top of the staff. And it's great to practice throughout your range for that singing style, but it's going to be especially noticeable when you get to the top of the staff and above, whether or not you can maintain that singing style or whether there's a sense of strain or forcing when you're doing it. So I was kind of going off into a little musical dream and then thinking about, oh yeah, I should probably, tell the trumpet folks about this. And so I'm going to get to it right now. He sets you up to be comfortable, or you set yourself up to be comfortable playing at the top of the staff. And the second line, he drops down to the low register. Throws a few lip slurs, some octaves in. So it sounds so simple, and it should sound simple. Think about how easy this would sound if someone who was a moderately accomplished clarinet player played it. It would sound so easy. It'd be so easy to play this on the piano. It's just one single line. On almost any instrument, it would be easy to do this, except for trumpet. And horn would also have its problems. The high brass are pretty challenging in their own right. But what got me into trouble? Well, I've got to finish now because I want to do the ending again because it was really unsatisfying. But before I do it, I'm going to tell you what went wrong. As I got to the end, I, as I said, became accustomed to playing at the top of the staff, and then I was not able to relax. And this is a very, very common trumpet problem. So the first thing I might do is like, okay, where's the high note? It's the G. That's not very high, but it is the top of the staff and the beginning of the upper register, you might say, especially if you're on a C trumpet. So as I play that, why don't I just play the scale from the G, the top G, down to the low G? That's something I might be doing in my routines every day. So that's the physical problem that I want to be working on. If I don't have comfort doing that, in that context, step by step. It's probably going to be more difficult to do it when I have the larger intervals and when I'm trying to play music, like doing the retard at the end and doing a diminuendo. So I think this is something that most trumpet players have experienced, that air ball effect. That was a pretty good demonstration of it, although it wasn't intentional. But it's good that that came up, because this is something that a lot of people are going to have issues with. And all you're trying to do is maintain the continuous free vibration of the air between your lips. Just a gentle touch. Now, to do that free buzz, that takes more of a grip on the mouthpiece, and this is something else that gives people problems. It's a little bit easier. Another simple exercise that's very powerful, just a siren buzz, staying balanced all the way through the range. It kind of reminds your body of the right way to play. Now, if you can't do that, just try it in a comfortable range and maintain your sound. That's a great way to approach it. So what's happening as I go into the low register? One of the main things that people don't realize is happening, which is, it's perfectly logical, it just doesn't work, is they're tightening to go higher and relaxing to go lower. And to an extent, that's true. We're talking about embouchure and also breath support. So there's truth in that. But when I go from higher to lower, I have to make sure that I'm not collapsing the formation that holds the embouchure together. In other words, there's a certain posture. Some people say it's like whistling. And it should feel that easy when you're playing well, right? That's very, for most trumpet players, that's something that they may not have experienced yet. When you listen to great players playing, this is what they're approaching, and they're trying to stay kind of in that neighborhood of sound production. So this is the issue. The support muscles, think of it like, if any of you play reed instruments, clarinet, saxophone, or even double reeds, bassoon and oboe. The clarinet, for example, has a ligature. The ligature is a device, it's a clamp, a circular clamp that holds the reed in place. And if that ligature is not exactly the right tension, and the reed is not exactly in the right place relative to the mouthpiece, then you won't get a free vibration. Now, what we're doing is the same thing, only we're doing it with flesh, and there's nothing to hold on to. One of my colleagues, Doug Yo, who was the bass trombone player for many years in the BSO, used to say, the embouchure is only muscles connecting to muscles. There's no bones. There's nothing to hold on to. It's floating. It's free. So I'm going to have to get on with this, because I see my wife wants to come in here and do her recording with somebody who's showing up pretty soon. So. Yeah, I've got time, but I need to get going. What that means is, when we're playing higher, we feel that engagement. When we're playing louder, we feel the engagement. When we're playing lower, our lips might be a little bit looser, and that's okay. You just need to keep the ligature the same tension all the time. In other words, it's ready. It's simply, it's like a gentle grip that doesn't collapse when you go into the low register. So that's what I needed to concentrate on. I tried to go extra soft in order to challenge myself a little bit. So I better check in and see what, my wife is a pianist, to see what she needs to do in the room, since it's easier for me to move myself than it is for her to move the piano. And I'll catch you guys when you have a little bit of time later on, but I hope some of this has been helpful to you. Have a great day, enjoy your playing, and enjoy the victory of making a little bit of progress every day. Catch you later. Bye-bye.